Asiedu, that was tricky.
Could clearly see he wanted to go for goal. He knew exactly what he was doing, whipped it with lots of pace and power. But clever goalkeeping from Hadina Barriu. He rose from Nations FC's youth ranks and is taking over today's game with such confidence and brilliance.
Debut Premier League game for the youngster, and it doesn't come easily against the Porcupines. Kotoko's corner. Walid Fuseni is trying to improvise with a piece of skill to go past his marker, but tried unsuccessfully.
Very good work there from Danso. In as much as he hasn't given so much up front, defensively, he's put a great shift so far.
Asiedu. Farouk was trying to get to Ano, but Asiedu cleared the one away. Referee's asking Gripman to go a few meters back before effecting that throw. He stole a few steps forward. Imano Ano. That's unacceptable from Walid Fuseni.
You can understand why the center referee is calling them to speak to. Adongo will not take any unsporting behavior from any player on the pitch, and he's clearly indicated that to them. Keep your cool, let's play football.
Walid Fuseni's last visit to this venue was when he was in the colours for Nswantraman, and he left the stadium with 3 goals at the back of the net of Nswantraman. He knows how powerful nations can be here in Abrankese. Safo's delivery away by Samba. Anos tries the overhead kick. He doesn't get a ball, but here comes Danso, takes away possession from Amo. Amo does well to get it back, and Amoa will get it away.
You cannot take chances there, and you can see the fans very much poised. Nations FC, they know that this is a venue very much dreaded. You can't just walk away with a point. Already losing some 2 points against Samatex here. They wouldn't want to drop any. They were quite resilient and resolute last season until become Chelsea and then Heart of Lions burst their bubble.
Walid Fuseni goes down, no foul, but Adongo's whistle came a bit late.
So quite, a cheap fall there. He realized he has lost control of the ball. But once you stretch out your arm, you give the referee no other option, whether soft or hard push. You give the referee no option than to whistle for an advantage to your opponent.
Free kick for Asante Kotoko. We're approaching 30 minutes here in Abrankese. No goals to talk about yet. There's a double. Samba O'Neill and Patrick Asiedu all behind this free kick. It will be Asiedu to go for power. He drives one and is straight to the nation's shot stopper, Adina Barriu.
It was always going to come from this routine. Brilliant from the goalkeeper. He hasn't panicked a single bit in this game, and he just picked that one with ease. It was on target, but it couldn't stretch and test the goalkeeper enough.
Sapo Danso not getting the kind of supplies that he would wish for. He's not really been at his best on the left hand side.
It's quite interesting. The Safo hasn't been going for the simple passing, but looking for something outrageous, an intent given a couple of balls away. He's the man supposed to pull the strings together and link up play between the midfield and the attack. He can't be given such balls away.
Ablo's delivery. Headed by Prince Bedu. Here comes Amidou Aqua. Long one and looking for Amo. Sami Kufo won't take any chances. It's a goal kick.
What was Philip Amo expecting? There was no way he was going to go through Cycle 4 like paper. Very solid rock, very strong. And he read that ball and knew exactly what to do to prevent Amo from getting anything on that.
Lord Amo to take the throw-in. He decides to go all the way back to Kamara, who sends a long one in. Neymar bitten in the air by Bedu. Here comes Martin Akoglu. Switches to Evan Safo. He's got Gripman calling for it. Gripman's ball doesn't go far, but he does well to get it a feather away this time. Here is Farouk, but the final touch has gone out for a throw-in.
Clearly, that wasn't the cleanest of passes. Decision making hasn't been great for Nations FC. Right from their defense to the midfield and to the attack. They need to be doing better as the game continues to wild.
Asante once again steps up to take the throw in for the Porcupines. Here we go. Amo. Paulson loses possession. Danso picks out Emmanuel Ano. It's a one-on-one against Ablo. He goes past Ablo. Lovely skill from Ano, but you want to give credit to Ablo. He did well to recover possession for Asante Kotoko after the dusting skills from Ano nearly took him down.
He took his time. He read the situation. He did not dive into any tackle, early knowing that Ano would just wiggle and turn and twist.
Danso has lost possession. Seiko 4 joins the attack. Here is Nations. Emmanuel Ano wins the corner for Nations FC.
He started being a very intelligent player, moving away from the right hand side to the left hand side, causing lots of problems for the Asante Kotoko defense. The least route he has, he's definitely going to cause havoc. But that was very good recovery there from Walid Fuseni to block that ball for a corner.
Nations corner. Same routine. Martin Akoglu goes for the near post, away by Donzo. Now Safo will kill one in and is straight to Kamara. Kamara with a long throw looking for Amidou Aqua, but Prince Bedu steps up. Nesidu will pick it up and he's spotting the movement of Donzo and Amo. It is meant for Philip Amo on the right side. He got so much space. Kills one into the box. Walid Fuseni sets up Jehu. Jehu on the left foot is straight to Adina Bariu again.
He cannot be hitting these balls from a goalkeeper who has already proven his shot-stopping ability. That was an effort that lacked any venom and precision. Jehu should be doing better.
35 minutes in Abran Kese. Nations nil, Kotoko nil.
It's been quite an interesting game, not far off the quality you'd have expected. And looking at the nature of the pitch, they've actually served some good football. So far, the only thing lacking is goals.
Last season, Nations got 2-0 victories over Kotoko in the 2 games of the Premier League. Ano scored. Nafiu Suleiman has scored. Chawete scored against them. And Nafiu actually scored twice in those 2 games. Asiedu with a power, and it's gone right over the bar.
It was always going to rise, not with the best of techniques. More like the tip of his foot used to hit that ball instead of the laces. And clearly, as you can see, just went to drive it like he was playing a goal kick. Way off target, free kick wasted.
Asiedu these days has got competition from Francis Akwa and Joseph Amoa. Amoa actually started a couple of games ahead of him, but here is Donzo who goes past the nation's captain. He sets up Jehu, chance for Kotoko. Razak Simpson, he knows where to be at what time. Walid Fuseni, Amidu Akwa can't go past Martin Akoglu. Martin wins the possession but gives away the ball to Kotoko again.
That was very intelligent there from Akogo, but earlier Razak Simpson knew exactly what he had done, had to quickly recover, and he stopped that space, covered that space that was left for Joe to try hit the ball. Kotoko trying to find all avenues to look and unlock the loopholes in the nation's defense, but whenever they try, they firm up their grip.
Adabu's ball in. That's good reaction from the nation's goalkeeper. In the process, collided with Asante Kotoko's Philip Amo, who was lurking around waiting for that pass to get to him, and accidentally bumped into the nation's goalkeeper, who has come up worse after that contact.
That was a very intelligent whip there from Adabo. He's not one of the players you can trust to be delivering some of these passes, but that was quite dangerous. But any goalkeeper, knowing his worth, would come out to save it, and Hadina knew that was within his territory, the goalkeeper's area, and came to the edge to pick it up with ease. It's a good time for the 2 sets of teams to find some refreshment. It's been an end-to-end battle. Lots of running. They've slipped several times, and they need to refuel for the next couple of minutes remaining in the first half.
A while ago, on your screen, Kotoko management members, Chairman Nana Prinkra, together with Legal Counsel and Communications Director Safu Duku, in the VIP stands observing as Kotoko aim for back-to-back wins. Back-to-back away wins, and that'll be for the first time since 2024. Here is Danso, long one, but headed down by Amoa. Aqua is looking for Donzo. He gets to Donzo, and Gripman goes in with a tackle that eventually wins nation's possession. Here is Safo to Ano, being tracked down by Asiedu. Asiedu slides into Ano, and referee thinks that was too wild from Asiedu. Ano will get the foul for that. Asiedu is not happy, but that was overly aggressive from the Kotoko left back.
Well, it was overly aggressive, and as you can see, looked more like a tape off, slid into that tackle, making sure that Ano had no avenue to progress the ball.
He knows the quality Ano brings. If you don't stop him, he's causing havoc. He's scored twice already in this season's Premier League.
Doesn't look too good for Philip Amo. Just right there, he's struggling to get back onto the pitch, clutching onto his knee.
Kotoko have Seth Kojose, Emmanuel Enchi, Adam Inusa, and even Joseph Amwa, who cannot slot into that role currently being occupied by Philip Amo. In the meantime, is Martin Akoglu to take the free kick on 40 minutes. Martin Akoglu swings one to the near post and is headed away by Hilary Adabo.
You could see the reaction from Martin. That wasn't how he wanted the whip. Just when it went off his feet, he exactly knew that he had wasted the set piece. but the double couldn't take chances, headed it right back into the opposite direction.
Gripman with a throw, flicked on by Martin Akoglu. Asiedu is fighting to gain possession. Walid Husseini does well to win possession for Kotoko, but Akoglu, the nation's wing back, stays down. Prince Bedu, Evan Safo, but referee Adongo has whistled for play to be halted since Martin Akoglu will need some attention from the medical team of Nations FC after going down a while ago.
We think that he came off west from that challenge. Looked like a trailing arm there from Patrick Asiedu hit him in the face. Had an option there, and you can see nobody knew exactly what had happened, but that seemed to be a legitimate tackle. But you can also give credit to Prince Bedu. He's done some pretty good covering anytime Gripman and Simpson are not in their positions.
Simpson is aiming at Danso. Ano is equally interested, and Danso fouled by Philip Amo. Free kick, Nations. They've been the slightly better side in the opening 42 minutes. Nations FC coming so close when they got denied by the side post. Evan Safo will take the free kick for Nations. He swings one into the Kotoko box. Simpson can direct his header well. A double clears it, but it doesn't get out of Kotoko's area. He does so to find Amo. Amo is trying to pick out Aqua, but Bedu will step up. It's a lovely ball from Safo looking for Ano. Ano again with Patrick Asiedu. He gets possession from Ano. Walid Husseini to Aqua. He's up against Prince Bedu. Aqua has got the pace and skill. Let's see what he does. Aqua turns around Bedu. Good movement from Aqua. Now here is Jehu. Tries to pick out Amo, but they're giving the ball away to Nations. Here is Danso. He turns the heat on Kotoko. Safo. Ano. There's a foul against Kotoko's captain, Samba O'Neill.
You can clearly see he got the man. He went in trying to whip that ball away, but Ano was swift. Got attached to the ball before Samba O'Neill could add anything on it.
Obviously the danger man and the man to watch. Ano, 19 games last season. He scored 6 goals and he's already on 2 goals this season. Scored a late winner against All Blacks in the opening game this season. The Kotoko captain, Samba O'Neill, first player to be yellow carded in this afternoon's game.
That was a rash challenge there. Once you failed to get the ball, he just clattered into his man. It was more like a butchering, and right before Adongo, he was not going to spare this.
Samba O'Neill, 61 appearances for Kotoko so far. This is his 62nd game for the Porcupine Warriors. Joined from Rahimo in Burkina Faso. Handed the captain's band at the start of the season, and he's been amazing for them.
He's been very much trusted, less injuries, dependable. Also a utility player who can slot into midfield. It's the reason why the fans love him. For a player to be captain less than 2 seasons in a team tells you the kind of quality he possesses.
It's 45 minutes already in our Brancases, Kotoko and Nations drawing ahead of the break. Kamara launches one in. Donzo to Amo. Was trying to shoot from that distance, but he was pecked back by that tackle. And Kotoko gets the free kick.
For the first time in the game, Prince Bedu gets his decision wrong. He just went into the foot of Amo who waited and invited the tackle for himself. Good position for Asante Kotoko, and it's quite direct.
4 additional minutes. We're already into the last 45, and Kotoko have a free kick. They've tried a couple of times, but they've not been successful. Either the boy is flying away or goalkeeper Bariwi is rising to the occasion. It is Samba and Esiedu. Ellis Esiedu is a terrible one from Esiedu. Very poor from the left back.
That is quite unfortunate for him. You can clearly see he wanted to go in with lots of fire, but that ball was always rising. He hasn't had the best of techniques to hit the ball. And nations would clap for that any moment, every time, if you decide to waste very good free kicks in very good positions like that.
Walid Fuseni, Hubert Jehu. That's a foul. Good decision from the referee because Kotoko had the advantage, but there was no player stepping up for it when Jehu went past his marker, and referee will not hesitate. Second yellow card of the afternoon, and it goes to Kelvin Ampofo. Pulled him back and tripped him from behind again.
Ampofo knew exactly what he was doing. He had to just pull his man down. But I think that was an unfortunate decision he had to make. There were other players joining into the fray to try and close down Jehu in that moment.
It's Patrick Esiedu again, this time surround the center circle, and Esiedu swings one in, and Samba O'Neill unable to make the needed contact as a goal kick. Did want to step up into that area, but unfortunately he just couldn't make that contact. Samba O'Neill,
the best decision and the best whip he's had in all the free kicks he played. Samba O'Neill lacking at far post. He just missed the ball by a whisker. I think nations should just be a bit watchful. At far post, you can't believe an opponent free, especially a tall figure like Samba O'Neill.
We're into the final minutes of stoppage time in Abrankese. Foul for nations.
Ablo came second best to that challenge. There was no way he was going to win the ball. He had to go in with too much aggression and ended up committing a foul.
Ivan Safo has stepped up for it, but I get the feeling Razak Simpson will fancy a power drive from here. He's got what it takes to deliver, but Safo is indicating he wants to go for a killer. A power drive or a killer. Safo for Simpson, goes past Jehu, drives one, but it rises over the bar for a goal kick.
Not too far, clever and intelligent from the two, but that rush and press from the Kotoko human wall made sure that Simpson wasn't going to have the best of balance and the right technique to whip the ball. Just had to go for it, but it went far off, and Kotoko can have a breather.
This might just certainly be the final kick of the first half, and that's it. Referee Angelos Adongo Akurugu whistles for the end of the first half here in Abrankese at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. And an Ashanti Regional Derby here has ended goalless in the first half, both teams exhibiting quality and some impressive football. Nations FC denied by the side post. Kotoko coming close on a few occasions, but it's been an interesting game over the 45 minutes plus stoppage time. It's half time at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in Abrankese. Nations FC 0, Kotoko 0.
first 45 minutes has ended here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. It is goalless between Nations FC and Asante Kotoko, and we're hoping that the second half will be kind to give us some good goals here. I'm here with the assistant coach of Asante Kotoko, Coach Prince Owusu. Coach, despite the fact that the pitch has made it very difficult for you to play, are you pleased with what you've seen from your team?
Yes, I think the boys are putting a very good fight. They're not giving up. They're pushing way forward as well. Not that they're sitting back to play defense. No, they're going offensive as well. So it looks very good.
What should change in the second half for you to get 3 points here?
Yeah, we just need a chance to just bank the ball in the net. When we got a chance to play, I think we'll do it.
Thanks very much, and we wish you all the best for the second half. That is Coach Prince Owusu, the assistant coach of Asante Kotoko. Now, I've been joined by a man who is familiar in this region, Coach Johnson Smith. Coach, first 45 minutes, goalless. Have you been pleased with what you've seen from the Nation boys?
Really. So, as we are going to prepare.
Do you think the soggy nature of the pitch has really affected both teams?
Really, it's true, because that's affected the game will be nice game.
But going into the second 45 minutes, what should change from your team for you to carry the day?
Now we know the pitch and we know how they play, and so we are going to the drawing board and do a correction.
Well, Coach, you can go back to the dressing room and do the halftime team talk. It is a goalless here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Big game between Nations FC and Asante Kotoko. There's more to discuss, and I'm still here with Coach Frimpong Manso and Michael Akomia. We take a quick breather. When we return, we go into the first half. Michael Akomia is also here. First 45 minutes, the pitch has made it extremely difficult for both teams to play, but we've been served with some good football, Akomia.
Yes, Mutala, I think both sides have shown respect, perhaps maybe too much. the midfield looks congested, and I think creativity has not actually come in this particular half. This is due to the state of the pitch. But you look at Nations FC, they are targeting Ano, trying to play through him in 1v1 situations. And let me commend Patrick Essiedu, who has been superb in the first half with how he has handled Emmanuel Ano in this particular half. Looking at Nations FC, they've been really compact at the back line. Osei Kofo and Razak Simpson, not giving any chance to a player like Donzo, who is not really that strong, but definitely very swift in terms of running into spaces. He has gotten into some key positions in this particular first half, but unfortunately, he has not been able to connect these balls to get Kumasi Asante Kotoko the lead.
Coach, I mean, Nations have been slightly better than Kotoko in terms of the chance creation. They came closest to scoring as they rattled the woodwork. But would you say that the nature of the pitch has actually disrupted their play? Because they seem to be going long, trying to find annoying Kotoko defenders. Ablo and Ongba have been comfortable with that.
Yeah, both sides are using the long balls because the pitch is making it difficult for them to build from the back. You could see we haven't even had on 2 or 3 occasions where a team will start building from the back. No, because of the nature of the, they will have to go long, and then they will look for the second balls. So those second balls are what seems to be creating some half chances. But apart from that, it's making it difficult for the technical players like Neymar. Like they cannot express themselves because they are used to holding the ball. You see, and Ano, even on the other side, is also finding it difficult to also hold on to the ball.
Akamia, and what coach is saying, it seems to have affected Kotoko more because Walid Fuseni Neymar is almost like the creative force for this Asante Kotoko side, and the ball cannot be kept on the turf.
Yes, definitely. If you look at Walid and Hubejo, the ball should be moving quicker. The ball should be moving faster. But definitely because of the nature of the pitch, it's not moving faster. If you have to go long, that means your number 9 should be able to hold a play or connect with that particular area duel and make sure that you get onto the second balls. The same thing is happening with Nations FC, which I actually feel if you have a player like Samuel Tete, Farouk has not been so much involved in this game. If you have someone like Samuel Tete, get onto the area duels, fight for it, get the second balls, and I think you have Ano in key positions that can pick up the loose balls and get the goals for you.
Coach, if you usually find yourself in situations like this, how is the halftime team talk like? What do you tell the boys?
Well, it's like now we will always have to make sure we win the area balls because if you lose those balls, you'll find it very difficult to continue play or try to create chances. And you can see both sides, like you said, they are all having problems with that. And apart from that, the only way they can also move up is from the set piece. Because that is the only way you can create chances or you can score. Because there is closer to the goal area, and then also one flick can also create a chance. And I think we've seen 1 or 2 of such games. So for me, I think they will have to also look for the long balls. They have to be very careful with them.
Of course, the second half will be starting pretty shortly here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Nations drawing goalless against Asante Kotoko. Remember, Kotoko have never beaten Nations FC in the Ghana Premier League. 4 games between them, 3 wins for Nations and 1 draw for Asante Kotoko. I was looking at Coach Karim Zito throwing on a wild card like Emmanuel Entry because of the set piece technique that he has. Because it looks like if any team is going to break the deadlock, it could come from the set piece. Would you throw caution to the wind and bring him on?
I think for the first half, you wouldn't consider the personnel to be a problem. It's all about executing the system, which we all believe that the pitch is playing a part in it. So you need to maintain your composure. You need to maintain your key players in terms of possession. I don't think Hilary Adabo has actually been bad. Patrick Essiedu has gotten some good deliveries. We look at one particular corner kick that was saved by the goalkeeper of Nations FC. You could see he was really dangerous, got into dangerous positions. So I think with Emmanuel Entry, maybe from the 70th minute, 75th minute, he could come in, going for the long balls too, especially he's going to be a target man that Kotoko will have to pick the loose balls from his end after an area duel.
Coach, for those of us who have not been in your position before, we often say that if it's not broken, you don't fix it. Asante Kotoko are getting a draw, which would be a positive result leading to their weekend's game in the CAF Confederation Cup. Would you say they should change the tactics or personnel?
No, it's too early to do that. Now they will still have to go with their normal play, their normal system of play, because they still have 45 minutes, which can change any situation. So for me, you don't think about changing at the moment, although you have the next 15 minutes to also make sure you can change the whole thing, or you have to keep the whole the same thing.
Now, Kumia, one thing is certain: the home side will try to throw everything they have at Kotoko. Is that where the Porcupines can pounce? Because definitely there will be a bit of vulnerability at the back.
It's all about what you do in the phases of play. For the phase one, in terms of defending, I think Sambo no, he has been decent, but unfortunately he's leaving the first half with a yellow card. You look at Ablo, he has been a rock at the back. The same thing is happening with Oseko Fo and Razak Simpson at the back line. But the problem lies with the third phase. For the second phase, it's no problem. The midfielders are aggressive. I think they've had a little bit of control, but the attacking third, that is where these teams are struggling to combine passes, and you could see more automatisms. But Mutala, in all, I think Nations, there will be a lot of pressure on them. You've gone 4 games without a win. The last time it happened in 2023-2024, they drew 2-2 with Kotoko. Today, they are also on their way to draw against Kotoko again. They will throw in more men. They will take the risk. It's about high risk, high reward. But for Kotoko, they will be relaxed because this is an away game, no pressure on them. Definitely 1 point away from here. They'll be fine.
Coach, is this where a coach risks it all and say that I am the home side, so let me go for the 3 points at all costs? Let me throw more men forward.
For some games, you think about that.
But this is not one of those games.
But here is a case. They've gone 4 games without a win. So it's one of those games you can still risk for it. So for me, the next maybe 5-10 minutes, if they start to effect their changes, I wouldn't be surprised. But the game, I think, for me, is going. It can go anyway. As from now, it can go anyway, and it might come. Maybe whoever takes their set pieces well can have the day.
Okay, so the second half is about to start. The Asante Kotoko players are coming out of the tunnel. It's goalless at the moment between Nations FC and Asante Kotoko. We are hoping that the second half will be kind to us and give us some goals. You're watching Ghana Premier League on TV3 and on your TV. I hand you over to our team of commentators, Calvin Osuansa and Nana Dakwachis.
Hi, welcome back for second half commentary for this match day 5 Ghana Premier League top liner between Asante Kotoko and Nations FC here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in Abrankese. The first half saw a very interesting exchanges between the two, with Nations FC slightly the better of the two sides, coming close by striking the side post in the first half. Back from recess, these two teams will be going at each other in search of the maximum points. And for Asante Kotoko, they have not beaten Nations FC in the Premier League since the gained promotion, and they'll be hoping to break that jinx here in Abrankese.
It's a Herculean task for the Porcupines, and Nations have done excellently well every single season, making sure that this stadium becomes a fortress for them. The Porcupines have to really play above themselves and give out more than 100% should they want to carry all 3 points from this venue.
The Porcupine faithfuls charged up, very positive about what's going to happen in the next 45 minutes. They remain upbeat about their chances. Asante Kotoko drew against Heart of Lions last Sunday, a disappointing result for them, but they bounced back during the midweek to pick up maximum points against the reigning champions, BBN Gold Stars. And after 45 minutes in Abrankese, they are aiming to make it back-to-back wins in the season's Premier League.
And they are looking for that quest to win the Ghana Premier League. But Nations FC also want to bounce back in a grand style. They've come close to winning the championship several times. And this is the season they think that the experience must count in Ghana's top flight.
Asante Kotoko will get us going for second half action here in Abrankese. It took Nations FC so much effort to rise to where they did last season. And as Asante Kotoko, who gets us going for second half action, done so with an early clearance for Nations. Farouk, here is Safo racing forward. He's got Walid Husseini tracking him. First throwing of the second half to Nations.
It's going to be quite a ding-dong battle in the second half, knowing what the first half posed, the slippery nature of the pitch, and identifying the weaknesses in each other's teams. The second half should be explosive.
Samuel Kufuor, the former Bechem United centre-back, goes in for the throw-in. Farouk, chance for Nations. That's a foul on Patrick Esiedu. Ivan Safo, the culprit.
Safo knew exactly what he wanted to do. He couldn't allow Esiedu to quickly roll that ball for Asante Kotoko to burst into attack. That's a mark of a very good midfielder. If you're not adding anything offensive, you must make sure defensively you kept the threats of opponents.
Mohamed Kamara's ball in. A double, miscued header. Walid Husseini. Was trying to stop the ball from going outside the box, but referee had his eyes right there.
That was intelligent play there, quick passing between himself and the double, but couldn't quickly pick up the return ball.
Farouk. A double does well to recover possession and find Kamara. It's Simpson against Donzo. Simpson gets to the ball first. Aqua late for that ball, but the Nations keeper Hadina Bari wasn't taking any chances there.
He's been top for Nations Football Club. Goalkeeping at his best. He knows when to come out, when to position himself, when to make the save. And he's clearly been a very good final line of defense for Nations.
Nations have been lucky with some decent goalkeepers in recent times. Kofi Mensah paid his dues until Sanon Rabin took the #1 position, and in his absence, the young chap is showing some quality. Here is Prince Bedu, Evan Safo, Martin Okoglu back to Safo. He's got Jehu to confront, and Gripman will send a long one in, headed by a double. It's a decent effort from a distance from Bedu. Saikufor gets the ball ahead of Aqua. There's a push on Emmanuel Ano by Joseph Ablo. Ablo is already on 2 yellow cards this season. He got a yellow card in that game against Brecum Chelsea at the Golden City Park. Picked up a yellow in that game against Hearts of Lions as well, Joseph Ablo.
He's walking a very thin line, getting closer to suspension. He needs to be very much careful, but he can also take chances. He just went right there into the calf of Ano.
Ano scored against Kotoko last season, so they are very mindful of the threats he brings into this game. Simpson's ball is straight to Kamara. Kamara made contact with Osei Kufuor, and the centre-back has come up worse. Kamara in an attempt to grabbed that ball, collided with Kofo, who has gone down and is still complaining of pains.
Yeah. I think that was bold goalkeeping there from Kamara Kofo. You can see the pain seems to be coming from his knee. Not a position you'd want to see a player get injured there. Quite unfortunate. But with such a huge frame in Kamara, he wouldn't allow you to get that ball past him.
Young nations. So they have turned up here to support their big brothers.
That's the fever of the Ghana Premier League. Making sure that the young will be rolled right into the fever at this early age. Sekofo walking gingerly off the pitch. He seems to be okay and can possibly continue the game. Going to be quite interesting. You're looking at Asante Kotoko will be playing in Africa. They couldn't ask for a better test than this.
The more reason they decided not to bring on board Albert Amwa to this game is for precautionary measures. They don't want to risk him ahead of that game against WAC. Here comes Amwa. Was trying to squeeze one to Walid Husseini, but Nations will take possession. Ano is stopped by Jehu. Such a workaholic Jehu. Now Asiedu. Not a good ball from the left back is Akoglu trying to find Farouk. Asiedu did well to track back and get the ball away from the advancing Farouk. Well, 6 minutes into second half of action. No goals yet in Abrankese. Farouk. Kelvin Ampofo. Here is Danso. Nations. Ablo. Had to be resolute and deny Farouk that passage just around the 16-yard box.
That was very clever there from Akogo. Knew he was very tied up on the extreme right-hand side of that attack. Laid that pass to Ampofo. But Ablo had to do his best to push it for a corner kick.
Corner for Nations. Evan Safo, the new boy to take. Whips one. Kamara comes out for it. Referee at the assistant referee at the flag up. Kamara seems to have been impeded in the process, and so it will be Kotoko's advantage now.
That was a very good free kick right inside the goalkeeper's territory. But Kamara came out tops with enough power in his arm and in his fist to punch it away, but he had already been impeded. The referee, the assistant referee, had to raise that flag for foul.
Simpson's clearance. Headed back by Amwa. Again is Simpson. Lord Amwa. Too much weight on it, but the nature of the pitch helps the ball to stay, and Esiedu gets it away. Here is Amo. Now Jehu. He lost to take the initiative, but he's been stopped. That's a clever tackle from Martin Akoglu. Kelvin Ampofo wasting time. Amo with a drive. He takes the deflection, and it goes out for a corner. Gripman had to be there to put his body in the way.
That was very good gather there from Asante Kotoko. Hilaria Dabu doing his best. The scrap fell to Amo, who didn't waste any time. But Gripman slid in to make that block. Experience at his best, making sure that that effort was not going on target.
Corner for Asante Kotoko. Patrick Asiedu. He seemed to be the dead ball specialist in this Asante Kotoko team, and he whips one in. Samba with a touch. Farouk's clearance gives Kotoko a throw in.
An area of big men there for Nations. Griezmann, Simpson, Kofo. You need to take an extra leap to beat them in set deliveries.
The likes of Samba, Ablo, Adabo, they've got those kind of heights, and so they should be capable of dealing with them. Esiedu's throw is long, and Ablo has missed, and Nations is on the move. Safo, foul on him by Jeu.
And Hubert Joe knew exactly what he was doing. Left an arm right into the face of Ivan Safo. Close to the action. Referee Adongo was there. You can see the reaction from the Nations FC technical team. Not happy with that. They wanted at least a caution.
And it's obvious because it was deliberate. He knew he had lost the ball. He knew that his opponent was heading into an advantageous area, and he gets himself booked for it. And
he knew exactly what he was doing. Clearly you can see no complaint. He's accepted in good faith.
He's becoming a mainstay in this Asante Kotoko team. Composure and a calmer temperament will be decisive if he's going to be successful at Asante Kotoko. Hubert Jeu was such a brilliant chap during his days at Brecum Chelsea. Put up amazing performances and caught the eye of Asante Kotoko scouts. And I tell you what, since his arrival in Kumasi, he's now become a fan favorite. He needs to work on the other side of the game.
For a player to push out Seth Kwejo and push out Emmanuel Enchi from the starting 11 clearly gives you an indication of the quality he possesses. Just like you said, the temperament and the stress need to be curtailed.
Nations nil, Kotoko nil, 57 minutes. In Abrankese, a trip down memory lane in Asante Kotoko's first visit here against Nations ended 2-2 in the 23-24 season. Amidou Diarra scored. Intimenu an on goal. Mukwala was on the score sheet that day as well, but Kotoko didn't read their lines well, caught up in this offside. Morfin Donzo seemed to have forgotten about how to time his runs.
Clearly it will take him some time for him to actually settle maybe a goal for him to unlock his actual prowess, but he was too quick for that ball.
And in that game I was talking about in the opening season for Nations in the Premier League, he had to take a late goal by Michael Chejamna to deny Nations all 3 points. Here is Danso, Ano, Safo goes down just at the edge of the box, claiming he was pushed, but no interest from the referee. Kelvin Ampofo is brought down by Morifin Donzo. Free kick Nations.
He was trying to reclaim the ball. Too much aggression in there, and he went in for the foot of his man as he looked for that ball. He's tried to work tirelessly, but I'm not sure that is where Kotoko wants him to perform.
Simpson will fancy his chances from a distance. It's a free kick for Nations. Razak Simpson steps forward. He goes for the drive, but he goes straight to the Kotoko wall. Here comes Peter Amidou Akwa. Scored against Gold Stars, but he's lost possession. He's able to retrieve it. Difficult to dispossess of the ball. Akwa now Jeu. Brilliant play, lovely skill from Jeu. Safu just can't stop him. Amo, back to Amo. Amo with a cross in, headed down by Gripman. Esiedu comes forward for it. That's what to skip past his marker. He sends a cross in, but the ball had already crossed over for a goal kick.
It was clear. Patrick Esiedu asking himself, I'm sure, why he decided to take an extra touch before whipping that ball in. A very good cover there from Akoko. He's done pretty well in making sure that Peter Amidu and Patrick Asiedu are not successful on the left-hand side of Kotoko's attack.
Here is Philip Amo. Good play from Walid Husseini to get to Amo, but Oseko fought long legs, is able to get to the ball first. Now Kelvin Ampofo looks for Ano. Good body shove from Ablo. And Kamara has given the ball away.
And that was a throw leisurely.
And Nations will give Kotoko possession. Amidu Akwa goes by himself. Here is Amidu Akwa, but Gripman wins the ball and is clean. No foul on the Kotoko winger.
Wasteful there from Peter Amidu. Gripman did his best. He decided not to ride into that challenge. And he just caught his man diving onto the ground. He takes too many extra touches before unleashing the right pass at the right time. Could it be an issue of Kotoko missing out on Albert Amwa, Kwame Poku, their trusted men up front? Doesn't seem to trust Morfin Donzo enough to be releasing the ball as early as you would expect.
Akwa. Martin Akoglu steps up and win possession. Here is Safo. He's been the busiest player for Nations this afternoon, Evan Safo. It's Ano against Ablo. Ano has got the pace, but Ablo has got the strength, and Ablo uses strength to advantage. Fouled in the process by Ano. Free kick Asante Kotoko. Clever defending from Joseph Ablo.
He knew exactly how to use his body well. Very strong. Once he got to the ball, there was no way he was going to allow Ano sneak that one away from his foot. Very, very good goalkeeping there from Kamara. In as much as he doesn't save, he commands his defense men so well. It will take something extraordinary to fetch us the opening goal this afternoon. I will be waiting for that to happen.
Kotoko coming up with the first substitution. Adam Inusa comes in to replace Philip Amo. Adam Inusa is also a product of the West Africa Football Academy. He actually played with Martin Akoglu, the Nations FC wing-back during their days at the academy in Sogakope. Has stints with Oko United, and Kotoko snapped him up at the start of the new season. He gets a chance to impress Abdul Karim Zito in this star-studded, talented Asante Kotoko setup.
As a player who is more direct, who has an eye for goal, more than you'd see from Philip Amo. And that is what Asante Kotoko has quickly unleashed. Nations will quickly need to devise a new strategy. Not the same way they marked Amo, but a different way to neutralize Inusa.
Emmanuel Ano shows too much of the ball to Ablo, but he gets the throw in for his effort. Evan Safo, Martin Akoglu, Safo, Kelvin Ampofo. Here is Prince Bedu. He kills one in, and Kamara doesn't struggle to deal with it. He's trying to take the goalkeeper by surprise, Bedu, with that chip.
That was a very good drive there from Bedu going into the top right corner. But Kamara's height was always going to play to his advantage.
Confirmation of the nation's substitution done so for Abdul Rakib, Abubakar Rakib.
Was very much expected that was going to be the substitution. He seemed to be the only player up who did not offer too much. Kasim Mengolo Kansi wants a lot more disturbance to the Kotoko defense.
Especially in the offensive positions. He did well with the tracking back duties, but Danso is known for his ability to take defenders on, create spaces, and also score goals. But he didn't live up to it when he was on the pitch. Gripman's clearance. Samba heads it down. Here is Siedu. Adabo. Siedu goes long. Morifin Donzo controls it down. Here is Hilary Adabo. Inusa's first involvement goes past Bedu. That's what to pick out Donzo. Donzo says Jehu and his effort deflects and goes agonizingly away for a corner kick.
That is what Inusa offers. He's very much smart, sharper, and he's direct.
So nations are coming up. Their trusted left back. I think it's Kwame Boachi who goes in for Danso and not Rakibas earlier indicated. Danso, very cultured left back who can also play as a wing back, but he also offers so much in the offensive areas, and Nations wants to tap into that.
Clearly from the substitution, it looks like it's going to revert to a 4-back system.
One thing about Kasim Mingil is he doesn't hesitate to tweak tactics, change formation to his advantage. Esiedu goes to the far post. Samba O'Neill has the ball back and is straight to the nation stopper Hadina Bariu.
Very strong arms and hands in the air there from the goalkeeper. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he came out with no hesitation to pick up that ball.
Gripman, Samba O'Neill's header. Patrick Esiedu is aiming at Donzo. Flag goes up. Morifin Donzo is offside.
It's quite unfortunate he hasn't been timing his runs properly. Anytime the ball is hit, and you can clearly see his dedication to his players. Just be quicker with the pass.
He remains Asante Kotoko's only out-and-out striker in the absence of Kwame Opoku and Albert Amwa, who are both injured, racing against time to be fit for the African Confederations Cup date with WAC of Morocco in Accra next week. Kotoko will be unhappy after the Confederation of African Football rejected the Baba Yara Stadium as unfit to host their African Confederations Cup game against WAC. They have to turn to the Accra Stadium next weekend.
They're very much broken-hearted and were expected to play at their favorite and dreaded Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Now they would have to go and play at the Accra Sports Stadium. Still in Ghana, they have a very difficult mystery to unravel.
Aqua claims to have been fouled by Martin Akoglu. Sapo can't combine the 1-2 with Akoglu, and Kotoko will get a throw in, but Amidu Aqua is up already. Sometimes these guys good at dramatizing.
The theatrics, but Adongo is not going to fall for any of this. 17-year-old has really had a very good day as a centre man.
No, it's fair to say he's been firm, he's been spot on, and he's not been intimidated because he's a young chap. He's had a decent game in the opening 68 minutes at Dongo. Very impressive officiating from him.
Credit to the Catch Them Young refereeing policy of the Ghana Football Association. It's really unearthing some wonderful talent for the future.
Here is Amidu Aqua up against Martin Akoglu. Aqua's energy is being met by the resilience of Martin Akoglu, who has been spot on in keeping Aqua at bay in this afternoon's game.
I think he's done pretty good work there. That has limited his attacking instinct. But I think his first duty and first role is that make sure at the rear we are peerless.
Derby in the Garden City, 70 minutes. Nations nil, Kotoko nil. Inusa to Donzo. Try the right-footed cross.
Inusa seems to be trouble. Kwame Boache giving the ball away in a very good position for his opponent. Thankfully, Razak Simpson was right there to stop that attack.
Amwa with the cross. Good reaction from goalkeeper for Nations, Adani Bariui. Here's a double, 70 minutes. Kotoko on the move. Lord Amos kick straight onto Kwamboache. Kotoko yet to beat Nations in the Premier League game. Benton doing that at a Brancaster this afternoon. Here's Lord Amwa. Looks for another Lord in a double, and a double gets the corner.
Very intelligent play there from Lord Adabo, getting the ball back to Amwa after availing himself for the throw-in. The return pass was very swift. A credit to Boache sliding in there to make that block.
Asante Kotoko's only victory over Nations was in the round of 64 of the 2023-24 FA Cup. They beat Nations by 4 goals to 2. Mukwala on a brace, Lamten upon scoring each, with Asamoah Boats in the free hit, also hitting the back of the net for Nations in that game. Walid Husseini's corner straight to the Nations goalkeeper. He's been calm, composed, and very good to watch this afternoon. Hadina Bariu
has maintained his composure. He's actually made sure that every time he comes out for the ball, he has a firm grasp. His fists have been very powerful, and I'm not sure if you're a Kotoko player, you'll be feeding him with the ball, and his most dreaded and comfortable territory as the goalkeeper's area.
Nations are coming up with another substitution. They are bringing on Tete, Samuel Tete, who takes the place of the former Hoho United striker Farouk Mohammed. It's not happened for Farouk since he joined Nations. His goals virtually propelled Hoho to the Premier League last season, and he caught the attention of Kasim Mingo. He's yet to produce those magical moments for Nations since his arrival, Farouk.
It's been quite difficult for him, and he needs to do a lot more, better than he's been offering.
Morfin Donzo was trying to tee up Aqua, but I'm thinking about the reason for that awkward clearance from Gripman. He was under no pressure. He had players calling. He decided to go into the stands with that clearance.
That was poor decision making from him. He could see his captain, Zach Simpson, calling for that ball, calling for calm. He's just giving the ball away easily to his opponent, and this is an attacking throw-in.
Again is the Nation's goalkeeper Hadina Bariu, with a broad smile on his face. He's enjoying himself in his Premier League debut.
Having a very good time. That is the only time in the game I've seen him spill a grab, but he firmly picked it up with ease.
Inusa goes past Kufo, shows great desire. Here is Inusa Adams, not afraid to go in for that one, but Kufo shows he's a big man. He's got experience.
Using his body so well. That is the mark of a good defender. And Inusa got past him the first time, quickly recovered and closed out the space. He knew exactly what Inusa wanted to do, and he just shepherded the ball out of play.
Inusa was in that Wafa squad, coached by Prosper Ogum. to second place finish in the Premier League. A couple of seasons ago. Hilary Adabo. Looking for Donzo, flicks it. Kofo is alone, heads it down. Walid Husseini traps it down. He comes to Amwa. Amwa wants to send a cross, but stopped by Kwame Boache. He gets the ball again, goes past Boache. Here is Lord Amwa. Goes low. Inusa just can't sort his feet out.
Inusa wasn't expecting that. He seemed was expecting that delivery to go directly into the penalty area.
Here is Emmanuel Ano. Deswo to pick out Safo. He goes for drive. And he goes out for a goal kick.
Very clever and intelligent play there from Ano. He knew he wasn't going to take on Sabonel. Play the ball right onto the foot of Safo. Went in with a strike. It lacked venom. It lacked any power. Precision.
First Premier League season for the former Park Academy midfielder. And he's showing glimpses of the quality he brings into the top flight. Here is Safo again. Wins the foul. Sandwiched in between Adabo and Patrick Esiedu. He wins the sympathy of the referee.
Clearly see Esiedu was late with that challenge. He lost the ball. Safo won it. Just decided to clip his man.
Their very first Premier League meeting ended in a pulsating 2-2 drawn game. We're into 76 minutes in their 5th Premier League meeting and is goalless. Simpson with the ball in. Headed down by Walid and cleared by Amwa. Inusa shows interest. He's fouled by Prince Bedu. Assistant referee waving the flag, an indication of the foul. And referee Adongo has reached his pocket. He's passed his yellow card to Prince Bedu for that cynical challenge on Inusa.
He's taking one. His man, and that is very good delivery into the penalty area, and that seemed to have brought that pain in there. But clearly, he just went in for his man. Late challenge.
There's trouble for Nations. Prince Bedu on the yellow card, and on the other side, Nations have a player bleeding from the head. That's Raymond Oko Gripman when he had attempted an effort in the Kotoko area a while ago.
But you can clearly see that the referee very much cautious with his approach. He knew exactly what had happened, but Gripman fell into that challenge, came offwards, and you can see the reaction from the two sets of fans. Not very much happy in the Asante Kotoko with JC. Complaints all over. But hopefully Gripman gets back stronger to the pitch. Barry has had an excellent game. The goalkeeper who stepped right into the boots of number 1 from the U team is great.
What a day for the 17-year-old Angelo Sakrugu Adongo. Big game for the young chap.
Come at the hour, come at the man, and he's really come as the man for today's occasion.
Samba O'Neill to take Kotoko's free kick from their own half. Sends one deep in. Gripman, that's Simpson who has the ball down. Gripman is still receiving treatment. Mind you, so it's 10 against 11 as we speak. But he's back on the field. Gripman is 11-all now. There's a push on Simpson by Morifin Donzo.
Simpson, very good defensive work there, making sure that Donzo doesn't have any snippet of the passes being delivered from Kotoko's midfield. You can see clearly captain wanting to push the team towards getting 3 points. A second successive draw at home would not go well for them.
Calvin Mpofo, here is Emmanuel Ano. Asiedu does well to get to his captain Samba O'Neill. And his final touch, Asante Kotoko. A breather is a goal kick now.
Looks more like we'd have to wait for something instinctive, something that would come from individual intuition and ingenuity to break the deadlock in this game.
10 more minutes to go. Nations nil, Kotoko nil. Bedu sends one in. Samuel Tete is interested, but it's Ablo who arrives and finds his goalkeeper. Who, in an attempt to get the ball in, turns it out awkwardly for a throw into Nations. Can't watch it to take. He's got a sweet left foot, but unable to get his cross. Inusa. Nations win possession. Here is Safo. Amwa shoves him off the ball and win possession for Walid. Now, a double to Walid Husseini. Amwa is trying to pick out Donzo, but Osekufo is always first in the air. Aqua to Esiedu. Too much on that ball for Aqua.
It's been lots of misplaced passes there from Patrick Asiedu. He hasn't made the best of decisions in this game, trying to get the ball quickly to his forwards.
Four Premier League meetings between Kotoko and Nations, 3 wins for Nations and a draw. Here is Samuel Tete. Now Bedu, Kofor, Boache, stopped by Jehu, Kelvin Ampofo, Kwame Boache, being heckled by Walid Husseini, and is a foul.
Nations gradually becoming the better side for the last 5 minutes, taking control of the midfield, making good advancement, but brilliant decision making in the final third of the pitch has been lacking.
Same way they ended the first half of Nations is the same way they want to end this game. Kwame Boache with a free kick into Kotoko's area. Patrick Asiedu gets it away. And Simpson is up against Donzo. He arrives to get to his goalkeeper, who turns the ball away.
That was pretty much good there from Zach Simpson to weather the storm. Donzo was coming in with lots of power, lots of energy and pace. Credit to the goalkeeper, he just had to just blast that away, not taking any chances.
Ablo leaves it for Kamara to take. Here is a double, loses the battle to Safo, and Safo brings Jehu down right before the referee. This should be a yellow card. No excuses for Safo. And Safo gets himself booked in a very silly manner.
That was very silly, the poor decision making there from Safo. He just had to pass the ball quickly, gave it away, and held on to his man.
He knows it was an avoidable card, Safo. Substitution time. Asante Kotoko will bring on the former Bechem United midfielder Seth Kojose. And he takes the place of Hubert Jehu. The two new boys will be exchanging places. Jehu came from Brekum, Kojose, Seth Kojo came from Bechem. Jehu has gone out. No one of those vintage performances since joining Asante Kotoko, but it's fair to say he's been above average in today's game.
Well, clearly, it was quite difficult for him. The nature of the pitch and the midfielders he met in the opposing team, very much workaholic. It was going to be difficult for him to have a field day, knowing the kind of performances he's been putting up for Asante Kotoko in recent times.
We're into the last 5 minutes of this Ashanti derby, with Kotoko having the free kick and about to execute. Nations have their goalkeeper down. Under circumstances we can't verify at the moment. He just went down, an off the ball incident. Very difficult to tell what exactly happened to him. I've seen Akoglu take out his yellow card again. Who is going to be the victim this time?
We'll wait to get the confirmation. I'm not sure whom he's going to show the yellow card to, but Adongo knows. It's either someone is trying to play smarter in an unlawful manner that goes against the laws of the game.
Firm, precise, and very authoritative. Simpson having a word with the coach, and Amidu Akwa enjoying himself with Simpson. These guys displaying some great sportsmanship beyond the 3 points. There's some friendship after the game.
The love of football matters so much. The love that we share, camaraderie. You never know when you're going to meet your opponent in the same team.
And guess what, Kelvin? At the Nikraku Park in Tema, Vision FC are demolishing the reigning champions BBN Gold Stars. Vision are up by 3 goals to 0 in Tema against BBN Gold Stars. BBN Gold Stars just lost the game to Asante Kotoko during the midweek by 2 goals to 0. So the exit of Frimpong Manso seem not to be bringing anything positive to Gold Stars, who are yet to unveil their new coach Maxwell Konedu.
It was quite difficult looking at how things pan out, and clearly from the games that Gold Stars were playing, you could just identify weakness in the team. You can identify that they weren't the side that gelled last season. Lucky to have won that game against Swedro All Blacks, but Kotoko Vision putting them in their rightful place.
Goalkeeper is the recipient of that yellow card. Referee clearly knew this guy was wasting time. He wanted to buy some minutes and he'd get himself booked for that antics.
That is so needless. It's quite needless. And that is an unfortunate one to take.
Let's see what Kotoko makes from this free kick.
It's quite surprising, the two sets of players arguing over the positioning of that free kick. Looks like complaining about Asante Kotoko stealing a couple of yards.
Kotoko have a date with WAC of Morocco. They want to use this game as a perfect dress rehearsal for the bigger task on Sunday, but they are unable to break nations down. Samba O'Neill, Patrick Esiedu, Walid Fuseni, all of them behind this free kick. He's asking Esiedu to still take it back. He's satisfied with the positioning now. Free kick for Asante Kotoko. We are into the final minutes of 90. It's 89 here. Samba O'Neill is equally interested. Referee whistles. Samba O'Neill goes over it. Walid Fuseni. Esiedu with a drive. He takes the deflection. And Kotoko have a corner.
That was a powerful drive. Better was quite aiming for the goal until that deflection.
Nations FC have a difficult task next week when they play Dreams FC on match day 6 of the Premier League. It's going to be a battle between two struggling sides. Dreams are yet to win in the Premier League, and Nations are winless in their last 3. Corner for Asante Kotoko. Asiedu to take. Whips one in. Headed down by Simpson. Walid Fuseni. Asiedu goes low, but Prince Bedu steps up. Clears it. A double is for Kotoko. Here is Asiedu. Swings one in. Headed down by Simpson. Here is Samba. Awkward clearance from the Kotoko captain. Kojose. Some brilliant control from said Kojose. Aqua can't go past Martin Akoglu. His Nations on the offensive. Here comes the former Wafa man. As Martin Akoglu tries to set up Emmanuel Ano, but not a good pass enough to pick out Ano.
Not quite the best of passes, and Ano would be asking why he hasn't had decent passing to him. Kotoko will be glad after Peter Midu gave that ball away. Concentration must be high.
Here's Aqua. Now Inusa. Aqua with a cross in. Kwame Boache heads it down. Samuel Tete controls. Tete, one of the new boys who joined from Change of Children. Here is Ano on the move. Kamara out of his area and grabs it.
Very good read there of the ball. Came out. Was too close to him. Quite a number of misplaced passes for Ano to pick up.
Inusa goes past. Gripman sends the cross, but Simpson is there with the clearance. So after the injury to Gripman said he gets a bandage. Simpson has got a headband. Similar looks, but has got dreadlocks as well. Ano goes past Ablo. Here is Ano. It's a foul. There was an initial foul. The referee overlooked it, gave advantage to Ano, but he just couldn't overlook this one from Albert Amoa.
Lord Amoa knew exactly
Lord
what he
Amoa
was
should
facing.
say. Albert is on the sick bed.
He knew exactly what he was doing. He couldn't allow Ano to progress. He's taking one for the team. The two sets of teams living quite dangerously at this moment. That was a very good run from Ano, knowing exactly where he wanted to drive the ball to. Shrugged off that initial challenge, but there was no way Amwa was going to allow him to survive.
Nations have a set of support base from the SHS just around the Brankesi, the Jachi Pramso Senior High School, and they're always here to show their support to Nations, but they are yet to celebrate any goals in 92 minutes so far.
Quite a number of schools around trying to integrate them into the love for Nations Football Club. From Jacha Pramso, you can also find the Osea Duchum Senior High School, as well as the Girls STEM School at Kontinase. It'll be quite interesting how these young lads get to the stadium to support this club.
We're into 3 minutes of stoppage time. Remaining 4 minutes will be crucial for these two sides as they aim to grab the much needed winner in stoppage time. Simpson's delivery headed back by Ablo. Handball against Inusa. He complains and denies it was a handball, but referee Adongo thinks otherwise.
It's quite surprising Morifin Donzo struggling in this game. Expected to pick up that ball with ease. Don't know why he decided to go in where there's that. Quite unfortunate from the man who is desperate to find the target for the first time for the Porcupines.
Nations have a free kick. The kind of moments you were expecting, especially when the game is getting to the dying stages. Free kick for Nations. Went to 4 minutes of stoppage time. Razak Simpson, Evan Safo, Kwame Boache, all of them showing great interest. It looks like he'll be a Simpson territory. Safo bends one, that is disappointing from the midfielder. All indication was pointing towards Simpson. Safo pops up and is wasted.
Very wasteful efforts there from him. Could have been better. In such positions, you need to test the goalkeeper.
Went to the final 2 minutes of stoppage time. Struggling Nations trying to dig deep to get something from this game, but try as they do, Kotoko stands firm at the back. Amidu Akwa up against Gripman. Asiedu with a cross. Simpson's header. Away by Gripman. He goes down as a foul against Asante Kotoko.
There's been a warrior in this game, making sure that he helps Razak Simpson and Kufuor to avert all the threats from Asante Kotoko, and he's done that with very minimal mistakes. That is very creditable performance.
Final minute of stoppage time. Asante Kotoko holding Nations FC, and if it ends this way, that will be the second draw in 5 meetings between these Ashanti regional based teams. And if it ends this way, Kotoko move to the 3rd position of the league log on 8 points, and Nations FC will remain on the 12th spot with 5 points, pending the outcome of tomorrow's games in the Premier League. Adabo clears it out. Martin Okoglu returns it. Kelvin Ampofo brought down by Seth Kojose right in the middle of the park. We've done 7 minutes of stoppage time. Referee Angelos Adongo Akurugu has whistled for the end of the game here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in Abrankese. The struggles for Nations FC in the season's Premier League continues. They failed to win, and they extend their winless streak to 4 games without a win in the Ghana Premier League after 5 matches. Not a good story to tell from Abrankese. But for Asante Kotoko, having not won against Nations FC, they were coming here with the aim of breaking that jinx. It didn't materialize. They've not conceded and they've not lost the game. Hopefully, it puts them in the right conditions for their Confederations Cup tie against WAC of Morocco next weekend. It's full time at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in Abrankese. Nations FC 0, Kotoko 0.
So it's ended goalless here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex after 90 minutes of exciting football. Nothing to separate Asante Kotoko and Nations FC, meaning that Nations FC have gone 5 games without a defeat to Asante Kotoko. Kotoko is still waiting for their first victory against Nations FC. My name is Mutale Yakubu, and I've been joined by the coach of Asante Kotoko, Karim Zito. Coach, 90 minutes, 1 point here. First of all, how would you assess the team's overall performance?
Well, the two teams, we all did well. We all came with an attitude of wanting to win. But the unfortunate side of our story is the field wasn't conducive. Seriously, it wasn't conducive for us to exhibit the nice football we wanted to play. So if we are both teams somehow resorted to long pass to the so that is what made the beauty of the game. Apart from that, I think when you go to play somebody's home and then you don't beat him, you come out unscattered. I think I'm okay. But we came here seriously to beat them. You saw how my boss were eagerly going for it to be able to.
Yeah. Okay. Now, 2 of your most creative players, Hube Jehu and Walid, were badly affected by the soggy nature of the pitch. Why didn't you change the system?
It's not like, you see, I'm building a team to face Africa. And again, I'm building a team for consistency purpose. So, do you want to tell me they only play where the field is conducive? No. They have to acquire all the experience,
okay, so
that anytime we go and there are such a situation, they can do. But seriously, I'm also affected by the absence of Amwa today. I'm affected by the absence of Amwa, but we are preparing him for the Wadak game.
Another clean sheet for you. I mean, on the road, 1 point going into that game in the CAF Confederation Cup. How important is this result?
Oh, it's very, very important. You know, anytime I'm going to play a game before the African Cup, even from dreams, or the game before that game will be my plan of how to approach the FE.
Yeah.
So I saw, you know, we didn't give them space, we didn't give them time, so they were resorted in kicking high, and we sometimes even put the ball and we start to manage ourselves out. So I'm okay.
Now, I saw you share a word with Kasim Mingle right after the full-time whistle. What exactly were you telling him?
I told him he's lucky.
He's lucky. We wish you the best of luck in your game against with that. That is Coach Karim Zito there of Asante Kotoko. I mean, spoken to him, and he says that they were actually lucky. Their opponents were lucky not to have conceded. So he ended goalless here, stalemate, but teams going home with 1 point. I'll be joined by Kasim Mingo Okanse, the head coach of Nations as well. Now, Coach, 90 minutes, full-time, goalless draw, 1 point on the road. Your team's overall performance, how did you see that?
It wasn't bad, but the nature of the pitch, the priorities of a good football. But it wasn't bad. You know, normally we don't balloon the ball. We don't kick the long balls. We are used to keeping the ball, building from the behind. But because the nature of the pitch, we could not do it. So our boys were complaining. They were finding it difficult that the way we play, it doesn't suit them. I said the nature of the pitch will determine how you play. So we could have done better than this, but it's football.
Now, I saw that Emmanuel Ano had some good half chances. Do you think that it was due to the nature of the pitch, that is why he couldn't convert those chances? Because I saw you fuming on the touchline.
Yes, the nature of the pitch. You know, when he moved the ball, and when the water stopped the ball, that's why he couldn't convert. About 2 goals, you should have converted them in the pitch. Oh, it's part of football.
Now, 1 point going into the next game. How important would you say a draw against a team like Kotoko is?
We wanted to win, but the pitch did not help us. So we take it like that. We got a point.
Of course. Big one for you, and wish you all the very best in your next game. Coach Kasim Okanse Mingo there talking to us after that heroics with this team. He had one with Bechem United where he actually did a good job, where they found themselves in the mix. But this time they have drawn against Asante Kotoko, meaning that 5 games Kotoko have not been able to defeat this Nations FC team. You're man of the match. Congratulations to you, first of all.
Thank you, sir.
Do you think that the nature of the pitch was a factor in this team not beating Kotoko today?
Oh, yeah, I can say the pitch has really disappointed us. Because this is not how we play our game. Yeah. This is not how we play. But next time, we'll make sure, so next time, we'll go and beat them. Yes.
Now, it was difficult for both teams, but what made the difference in your performance?
Oh yeah, what my coach taught me was like I should feel relaxed, like I shouldn't panic, like everything is normal. When I see the ball, I should go. If I didn't see the ball, I should stand. So that's what I put in my head, and I'm doing what I'm doing.
It's another clean sheet for you on the road, but not a win for Nations FC. What do you think must change going into your next game?
Well, my next game, I'll make sure that I'm going to encourage my strikers, especially my strikers. I'm going to encourage them so that they'll deliver goal for me.
Thank you very much, and wish you all the very best there. The goalkeeper for Nations FC being adjudged the most valuable player in today's game. But it's a stalemate here. Both teams going away with 1 point each. Nations FC drawing goalless with Asante Kotoko, meaning that Nations stretched their unbeaten run against Kotoko to 5. For the Porcupines, they are still in search of their first win against Nations FC, and they hope that when the second round comes around and they host them at the Barbera Sports Stadium, they would be able to get a win. My name is Butalai Akubu. Remember that on Monday we'll come your way again with another big clash at the Accra Sports Stadium. Heart of Folk hosting high flying Heart of Lions in that one, and that will wrap up match day 5 in the Ghana Premier League. It has been a good one here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. I did this with Michael Akomia and of course the former coach of the Bieni Gold Stars, a Premier League winner, that is Frimpong Manso. From us here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex, we say au revoir. Bye and see you on Monday at 4 p.m.